Drop a piece of sugar on the sidewalk, and within minutes, it vanishes under a writhing, hyper-organized sea of tiny bodies. That immediate, coordinated strike happens so fast it looks like magic. How do millions of individuals mobilize with that kind of precision? It is especially puzzling when you realize what they are working with. Most species are practically blind, relying entirely on light and dark contrast to navigate, and none of them possess the vocal cords to utter a single sound. Operating in a near-total sensory void, they have adapted to rule nearly every landmass on Earth using a different set of biological tools. To understand the complexity of their interconnected empires, we have to start small. We have to reverse engineer the physical machinery of a single unit. This technical diagram shows the core layout of an ant's body. Their baseline structure is divided into three main segments: the head, the thorax in the middle, and the abdomen in the rear. Connecting these heavy armor plates is a specialized biological hinge, the petiole, or that single pointed node between the thorax and abdomen. This acts like a flexible joint, giving them the range of motion required to lift heavy loads and twist through narrow tunnels. These features vary depending on the environment. As the diagram points out, this particular anatomy lacks a defensive stinger at the rear, relying instead on unique rings of sensory hair to monitor its surroundings. Moving to the head, we find the antennae and those large mandibles, the biological replacements for vocal cords and sharp vision. Up close, you can see how textured these jaws are. They act as hands for carrying larvae, weapons for dismembering predators, and agricultural tools for cultivating fungi deep underground. Other species have pushed this anatomy in different directions. This black ant has a large, segmented abdomen that it can raise high to spray chemical defenses at attackers, tailored to survive its specific environmental niche. The result is a body that operates as a hyper-specialized multi-tool, built for a specific role in a much larger machine. But an isolated tool is useless without instructions. That is where those physical antennae tap into an invisible network of signals, pheromones. When a worker locates food, it drags its abdomen along the ground, leaving a chemical trail. The antennae of other workers weed this invisible ink, locking onto the scent and guiding thousands directly to the source. Food is just one message. If a predator breaches the nest, a burst of an alarm pheromone broadcasts danger, triggering a colony-wide defensive swarm in seconds. To maintain the numbers required for this network, the colony acts as a continuous biological factory. Eggs hatch into larvae, develop into pupae, and emerge as adult workers, guaranteeing a renewable workforce. Each new arrival drops into a strict caste system. Whether an individual is born a fertile queen, an expendable worker, or a heavily armored soldier, is locked in from birth. This precise division of labor, bound together by chemical communication, turns millions of independent biological units into a structured, unbreakable society. In biology, this is a superorganism. Millions of chemically linked individuals effectively function as the cells of a single, unified entity. The paradox of this system is its lack of central command. No single individual is giving orders or mapping out the architecture. Not even the queen is in charge. She simply lays her eggs while the entire colony self-organizes around her. Their ability to strip a forest floor of resources or build elaborate, climate-controlled subterranean cities stems from absolute discipline and a division of labor that never falters. Watching this colony assemble a complex structure in hours illustrates the power of decentralized labor. In a human context, reaching this level of efficiency usually requires layers of management. For the ant, it is simply the byproduct of individual units following a chemical script. Specialized anatomy and chemical signals allow the ant to bypass the need for individual intelligence. Their survival on nearly every continent is the result of millions of years spent perfecting a society where no unit works for itself.